Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So today, we're going to be talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. No, I'm not a Sixers fan, but I'm definitely a Joel Embiid fan. And he has been absolutely impressive this year. The whole 76ers squad, everything about him has just been stunning this year. The coaching change was great. The addition to Daryl Morey in the front office was great. Joel Embiid looks like a top 5 player in the league, possibly. And Ben Simmons might just be the best defender in the league. This Sixers team has been crazy. They're first in the Eastern Conference, and I think they could possibly win the Eastern Conference this year. And I'm going to tell y'all why in this video. I said it in the damn title, I'm going to say it again. The Philadelphia 76ers are demanding your respect, and you should give it to them, man. They deserve it. You want to know who else deserves it, man? This man, Joel Embiid. He deserves it. That's who we're going to be talking about first. And, you know, for the past couple of years, it's always been Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic in the top 2 center spots. Some people will believe Joel is the best center. Some people will believe Jokic is. But it's usually always them, the top 2. But personally, I've always had Joel Embiid. But either way, you know, you can't really go wrong. Especially with the Nuggets making the conference finals last year. I could see why you would have thought Jokic was better. But in my opinion, even though Jokic is having an amazing year, Joel Embiid, he's got that number 1 center spot on lock for the time being. Maybe in 15 games, maybe it changes. But for right now, man, he's playing like the best center. No debate, in my opinion. He's second in the league in points per game. Only 2 people averaging over 30 points per game this year. Bradley Beal is one of them on a losing Wizards team. And then Joel Embiid on the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference, averaging 30.5 points per game. He's shooting 55% from the field while doing it. A career high 40% from 3. He's always been a pretty decent shooter from 3. But it's obvious this cat's been in the gym working on his game, his craft, and especially his jump shot, because that thing has become deadly. The 3 ball's cool and all, but the mid-range game, face-up jump shot is where he really gets his money. I think he might be the best face-up shooter for a big man, or really anybody, just a face-up mid-range shooter in the league, man. Like, every time he shoots a face-up mid-ranger, it's going in. Like, I don't even have to guess about that. It's just creating so much more space for him to operate in the post, because they have to commit to him so much on the mid-range shot that they get so close to him, he can just drive right past them. That's why he's, you know, getting so many points, man. He's dominating. He's shooting a career high free throw percentage, which is why it really makes me think that he's been working on a jump shot in the season. He's averaging 11 rebounds, about 3.5 assists or something like that, a steal and a half, a block and a half. He's doing it all, man. In my opinion, he's my MVP, no doubt in my mind. I enjoy watching him, and he is the biggest reason why the Sixers have been doing what they've been doing, in my opinion. But don't get it twisted now. There's a lot of other reasons why they're doing so great, and that's what we're about to dive into. So, I'm going to talk about Ben Simmons now. Now, he's a guy that people like to hate on, man. You know, people don't like to give him that much credit because he's not a stat sheet stuffer in the point category. He might get the rebounds, might get the assists. You know, he's still going to average damn near 2 steals per game. And, you know, he averages almost a block per game. But the fact that he only averages 15 points per game and doesn't shoot threes, a lot of people don't like that. And honestly, I'm going to be honest. It pisses me off how unaggressive he is. Now, with the fact that Joel Embiid's playing this good this year, I can kind of accept it. But we saw that one game. I think it was like a week or so ago. Joel Embiid didn't play. Ben Simmons just took over. He scored 40-something points. No threes. He just scored 40-something points. He can take over. He has that LeBron build, athleticism, speed, all that. He can take over and just take it to the rack anytime he wants to. But he's too timid, in my opinion. But he is one of the best playmakers in the league. And in my opinion, he might be the best defender in the league. I'm pretty damn sure he's probably like top 2 at least perimeter defender. You know, like him and Kawhi, I felt they're the top 2, but I'm starting to think Ben Simmons might be a better overall defender than Kawhi. If y'all don't watch him on defense, you just gotta look at him, man. He can guard 1 through 5. There's not a player in the league he can't guard, in my opinion. And this brings a lot of versatility to this Sixers team, because now, if they have to, man, you know, Ben Simmons, he's a point guard, but he can switch onto the center. You don't really see that too often. Like, the point guard switching on to the center and it being really effective, that's going to be hard for teams to counter right there. And that's why I'm starting to think Ben Simmons might be a very, very good fit for the Sixers team, even though people want to break the Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons duo up so bad, it seems like. Now, they're kind of like average offensive team when it comes to offensive rating. I think they're like 13th. So they're in the top half of the league, but you would like to get them to get a little bit higher in the offensive rating. But I still think they're doing pretty damn good because they have one of the most dominant players in the league, obviously. But what I find interesting is, so Joel Embiid shooting career high in 3-point percentage. They bring in Danny Green, Steph Curry, Tobias Harris gets his mojo back, man, because last year he was trash. Like, I always liked Tobias Harris, but last year he was not the move. It was not the move with Tobias Harris. But now they have all this shooting. They're making all these threes. And I think they're still like 28th in made threes this year. So, in my opinion, just jack up some more threes, guys. Like Joel, instead of shooting 3 per game, shoot like 5, man. They just need to get some more shots of Steph Curry, in my opinion. He's shooting like 46% from the 3-point line. And he's only shooting like 4.5 threes. Then you have Danny Green over there. He's shooting like 6 a game and 38%. And not to mention Tobias Harris. He's shooting 42% on 4 attempts per game. He needs to be shooting more threes for sure. But they just have some absolute snipers around these guys. And that's another reason why Joel Embiid is dominating. Even though they're 28th in made threes, this is probably the best 3-point shooting team Joel Embiid has played on. And that definitely helps out in terms of giving him more space to operate in the paint. Now, in terms of Doc Rivers being the coach and everything, I think Tobias Harris has benefited more than anyone from that coaching change, because I don't think Brett Brown was using him right at all. Of course, they had Al Horford, and that was a bad signing and all of that. We all know about that. But just because Al Horford was on the team doesn't mean Tobias Harris should have been a spot-up shooter last year. Like, he was not doing anything really off the dribble, creating his own shots. Not to the degree and the level he is this year. We saw Tobias Harris play really good under Doc Rivers in LA, and now Doc Rivers comes to Philadelphia, and it's the same deal here. He's playing really good under him, and I'm really glad to see him doing very good. He's the second best scorer on the team, obviously. Ben Simmons could be if he wasn't as timid as he was, but right now, if they need a go-to bucket getter, it's obviously Joel Embiid. But if they can't get it to Joel Embiid, then I think Tobias Harris is that guy, man. He might hit some clutch shots, who knows, in the playoffs or something. So he's going to be a big, big part for them. So what I'm trying to look at, man, I'm trying to think, how far do I think this team can go? Because obviously they're the first seed in the Eastern Conference, but we got teams like the Celtics, we got teams like the Bucks, we got teams like the Nets, and even the Miami Heat. They're farther down, but they made the finals last year. We got to at least give them that respect. What about the Toronto Raptors? They were in the finals a couple years ago. Do I think they can beat any of these teams? Alright, so in my opinion, I think they're better than the Heat and the Raptors. Straight off, I'm going to go off the bat. I think they could easily beat them in the playoffs. Not easily, but I think they would beat them. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the Nets, it gets a little harder there. When it comes to the Bucks, it's a little, harder there. But honestly, the Celtics have always had their number, right? I think this is the year that the Sixers are better than the Celtics. Joel Embiid, out of both teams, Joel Embiid's the best player in that whole series if they face off each other. And I just think now that they have Steph Curry, they have Danny Green, and now Tobias Harris is playing at the top of this game, if they face the Celtics, I got Sixers winning that one. And if Mike Budenholzer is still the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, count my words, man, the 76ers will beat the Milwaukee Bucks in the playoffs if they don't fire their coach. Because, I don't know, I don't like Budenholzer as a coach, man. He's not using Giannis right, in my opinion. I've seen it from a lot of other people, but all I have to do is use my own eyes, and I can tell he's not using Giannis right all the time. And I really just think they need to get rid of him, but if he's still the coach in the playoffs, I got the Sixers winning that series. The team I'm really worried about for the 76ers, man, is the Brooklyn Nets. I think that will be the conference finals matchup more than likely. And, of course, the Sixers got them on defense because they're like 6th in defensive ratings. So, the Nets going to be one of the worst defensive teams. That's not the problem. It's, okay, the Nets might not be that good at defense, but even then, can you outscore them? Like, can you? Think about it. They have 3 of the best offensive players of all time. Can the Philadelphia 76ers outscore them? I'm not sure if I can answer that question. And if I had to answer who I think will win the Eastern Conference, go to the NBA Finals, at the moment, I think it's the Brooklyn Nets. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Joel Embiid is just like, who's going to guard me down here? DeAndre Jordan? No, he's not a defender no more. He's not on that level of defense no more. He's not going to guard me. You're not going to have no KD down there. You're not going to have no Jeff Green. You're not going to sign nobody else. No, I'm getting mine. And maybe he just takes over and wins a couple games by himself for the Sixers and propels them over them and gets them to the NBA Finals. All I know, I hope so, man, because I'm a Wizards fan. I don't have anything to look forward to. So if I can see that boy Joel Embiid make the NBA Finals, I would definitely be down for that. But that's all I got time for today, guys. If you like the video, well, like the video, man, I would definitely appreciate it. Also, if your subscribe button is still red and isn't grayed out yet, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so you can see more NBA content by me in the future. And I would definitely appreciate it a lot. Anyways, that's all I got to say for y'all today, guys. Peace out. See you later.